I'm Sally Jensen with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's military has unveiled a new type of domestically made armored vehicle. While the country relies on the US for most of its weapons, under former President Taiwan, there was a push to produce made-in-Taiwan equipment. Jaime Ocon is in Taichung with more.
This 3-meter-tall behemoth is Taiwan's newest domestically made armored vehicle. Now, it doesn't have an official name yet, but it's passed all of the required tests and is now awaiting mass production. For over 5 years, Taiwan has researched how to make this vehicle faster and more suitable for Taiwan's rugged and mountainous terrain. Armored vehicles are important for the military to carry soldiers to where they need to go during a conflict. Manufacturers here say that one of the biggest accomplishments in making this vehicle is the development of an 105-millimeter cannon, which is important for protecting the soldiers it's carrying inside. But while the military is happy with this prototype, there's still some concerns that this vehicle is too tall, which means it could be easily spotted by enemy troops.
我们就已经在开始跟兵监单位来研讨，看怎么样可以把这个高度再降下来。目前来讲，我们现在的高度是3.3左右。好，那未来我们是3公尺以下。
Taiwan has been looking for new and innovative ways to defend against a possible invasion from China, and these vehicles are part of that overall defense strategy. Now, aside from the new weapon systems on display here, Taiwan says this vehicle shows how advanced the country's domestic defense industry is. Now it's just waiting to see if the military will put it to use. But regardless, manufacturers here are already celebrating that they can truly make a made-in-Taiwan armored vehicle. Ryan Wu and Jaime Ocon in Taichung for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan has expelled 4 Chinese Coast Guard vessels from its territorial waters. The vessels were spotted around 5 a.m. on Tuesday near Taiwan's outlying island of Jinmen. The Coast Guard sent out 3 patrol boats to collect evidence and drive the vessels away, saying it was a deliberate incursion by China and disruptive to peace in the Taiwan Strait. It's the latest of several Chinese maritime incursions since May. A plummeting birth rate is having a serious knock-on effect on the country's conscription numbers. To help ease the problem, the government is making it harder to get out of mandatory military service. For low-income families, that could be a big problem. John Van Trieste explains.
It's been 7 months since Taiwan lengthened conscription for young men from just 4 months to a full year. Officials say this is necessary as China ramps up its threat to invade. But filling the ranks is getting harder as Taiwan's birth rate drops. For the first time, Taiwan has conscripted less than 100,000 recruits. Projections show that this number will go down to just 75,000 at the start of the next decade. To fill the ranks, the government has had to relax rules on height and BMI, and it's also making it harder for those deemed fit to get exemptions from serving the full year. But some people worry this could deal a serious financial blow to families that rely on their young men for income. It is still possible to get classified as a supplemental soldier, conscripts who do 12 days training before returning to civilian life. But there are plans to scrap exemptions for young men that need to earn for their families. The only exception will be men who are the only support for a severely ill family member. Regular conscripts are paid, but not very much.
就是配合国防兵力结构调整，第二个就是追求兵役公平，94年式的这个薪资也做调整，接近基本工资。
But the Taiwan Alliance for Advancement of Youth Rights and Welfare says that until basic training is over, pay is less than half minimum wage. That can mean 2 months of minimal income.
做补充兵之后，他就可以赶快去再进行工作。这对于中低收入户家庭的青少年来说，它都是一个经济上面的一大打击。
Youth welfare activists want the government to look into subsidies or other measures to support these young people, so they can support the families who depend on them. Chris Ma and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
The unemployment rate in May was the lowest in almost a quarter century. Jobless rates in Taiwan have fallen for 3 months straight to hit 3.34% this May. That's about 400,000 people without jobs, a drop of 0.76% compared to April. Jobless rates are highest among people with university degrees, a figure that could slightly rise this month as new graduates enter the labour market. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has left the UK a free man after reaching a plea deal with the US in his espionage trial. Assange will plead guilty to one felony charge, down from the 18 counts he originally faced over the release of confidential US military records. Under the deal, he will get 62 months in prison, but with that time already served in the UK, he walks free immediately. The WikiLeaks founder is reportedly now headed to a court in Northern Mariana Islands, a US territory in the Pacific, to have the deal signed off by a federal judge. The deal comes after more than a decade-long standoff with the US Justice Department, which sought to extradite him to the United States. Rescue workers in South Korea are sifting through the ruins of a lithium battery factory. They're searching for victims of a fire that ripped through the building on Monday night, killing 22 people. It's one of the country's deadliest factory fires in recent years. Wesley Lewis reports.
Thick clouds of billowing smoke fill the air as a lithium battery factory in Hwasong City, just outside the South Korean capital, goes up in flames. Officials say the blaze killed 22 people, 18 of them migrant workers from China. Firefighters say the blaze started after an explosion at a warehouse owned by battery maker Aerosol. Eyewitnesses say the fire sounded like gunshots.
총알 막 날아오는 소리요. 그런 소리가 났죠. 막 따닥따닥따닥 하면서.
어디 전쟁 나갖고 막 총 쏘고 막 포탄 떨어지고 그런 줄 알았어요. 얼마나 막 소리가 큰지.
It took around 6 hours, more than 160 firefighters, and 60 fire engines to put out the blaze. Firefighters say the victims likely succumbed to noxious fumes within seconds of the fire engulfing the building.
짧은 시간에 유독성 연기를 흡입하시고 그게 한두 번만 마셔도 금방 질식되고 의식을 잃거든요. 그러면서 이제 불이 커지면서 피해를 보셨는 걸로 지금 추정을 하고 있습니다.
South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol visited the site of the deadly factory fire and says he is monitoring the situation, while the country's interior minister has vowed to support those who survived.
경기도와 화성시에서는 피해자별로 1:1 전담 공무원을 배치해서 지원에 최선을 다하고 부상자들이 치료를 받는데 불편함이 없도록 신속한 조치를 당부드립니다.
Officials and victims' family members have started organizing a memorial service in Hwasong for those who died in the fire. And on Tuesday morning, women believed to be victims' family members arrived at the factory, while firefighters and forensic services conducted a joint investigation to pinpoint the exact location and cause of the fire. This is not the only time an industrial fire has taken lives in South Korea. Back in 2020, another deadly blaze hit a construction site east of Seoul, leaving 38 people dead. But as the country reels from this disaster, both local and national officials say they're working to prevent any hazardous chemicals from contaminating the surrounding area and providing support to the victims and their loved ones. Kama Shu and Wesley Lewis for TaiwanPlus.
HIV and AIDS cases are going down in Taiwan. A Centers for Disease Control report shows a year-on-year decrease in the number of new cases. There were 941 new HIV cases last year, continuing a downward trend since 2017, and the lowest numbers in 2 decades. Health officials say better access to testing, treatment, and preventative medicine have brought the disease under control.
包括自我筛检或是确诊就要马上治疗，这些对于我们整个 HIV 或是艾滋病的一个防治呢，都产生一个很大的一个功能，能够确实的来服药，这样子呢就能够也有效的减少一些艾滋病毒的一个量，那这样就可以减少传播给其他的一个人。
Ceremonial crowns for deities are a traditional Taiwanese art form, one that's faced stiff competition from China. Louise Watt reports on how the craft has also become a central part of one father and son duo's personal journey.
那烧完之后，我们会经过浸泡，那浸泡完再清洗。
Tai Songshan is cleaning part of a silver crown to be laid on the head of a temple god. It's an annual ritual that involves using a blowtorch to get rid of dirt and ash. Once cleaned, it turns back into this, a headdress for the main deity of a temple in Pingdong County in Taiwan's south.
这一顶帽子的话，它除了尺寸比较大之外，它也是整顶都是纯银制作这样子。那比较特殊的就是它上面，因为它尺寸比较大，为了展现它的气势啊，所以 在一开始制作的时候，我们就是以5只龙的样式下去制作。
These crowns are a traditional Taiwanese art form, made by heating silver sheets until they're soft enough to strike patterns into them. Sai has learnt the craft from his father, Gui Ming, who's been in the business for half a century.
会使讲是投入全部的精神甲青春生命安尼吼。
Sai Guiming built his reputation in the 1980s, when lottery winners often ordered ceremonial crowns to thank the gods. But the industry has faced competition from China since the turn of the century.
台湾遮就有个人就走过伫大陆做安尼，伫遐经营，啊伊为遐做全规个个案吼，哦，迄足严重的，嘿，就伊个案拢算破规个对啊。
Sai struggled, but his loyal customer base has helped him through the hardest times. And now his son has joined him. He's hoping to master his father's trade and to help secure the future of this distinctly Taiwanese religious and cultural craft. Klein Wong and Louise Watt for TaiwanPlus.
A Taiwanese sports shooter is prepared to give her best shot at the 2024 Paris Olympics. 28-year-old Yu Aiwen will compete in the 10-meter air pistol category. She initially did not qualify for the Games, but the event's governing organization changed the criteria, giving Yu another shot at Olympic glory. This will be her 3rd time at the Games, and she's hoping to bring back her first medal. One of Indonesia's most famous heavy metal bands is getting ready to take the stage at this year's Glastonbury Music Festival. Harel Hughes tells us more.
This is Voice of Baca Prat, or VOB, a rising star in Indonesia's metal music scene. But beyond this set in Jakarta, the all-female trio is now getting ready to perform on one of the biggest stages in the world, Glastonbury Music Festival in England.
Bebannya itu gede banget gitu, karena kan udah bukan lagi nama VOB yang diangkat nama personal kita, tapi juga nama negara punya, negara Indonesia gitu. Itu sih yang paling beban lah.
Widi, Firda, and Ace formed VOB nearly 10 years ago as teenagers attending Islamic school. They were inspired by the popular American heavy metal band System of a Down. Since then, they have set out to challenge the stereotypes of Muslim women, focusing on empowerment and community, and gathering heavy metal fans along the way. But the group has seen their fair share of challenges, with some family members even suggesting they seek Islamic healing rituals to expel their love for metal.
Kita kan bawain musik metal nih, terus di kampung terutama kan suka dianggap kalau musik metal itu musik setan gitu, gak cocok dimainin sama perempuan, apalagi kita berhijab gitu.
But for their fans, wearing the hijab is an added bonus, and it's just become another aspect to love.
Menurut saya malah di zaman yang sekarang tuh kan emang perempuan kan udah lebih banyak yang berhijab juga ya. Jadi untuk metal berhijab tuh justru bagus gitu. Maksudnya berhijab bukan berarti jadi penghalang buat main musik apapun gitu sih.
Ya itu satu-satunya band wanita berhijab metal. Pantas aja buat saya. Di agama Islam tidak memandang itu apapun, yang kalau emang itu ajarannya bagus ya dilanjutin aja.
In just a few days, the women of VOB will be taking the stage at Glastonbury, the first Indonesian band to do so. But it will also be much more than that. A source, their fans say, of much needed representation for Muslim women and metalheads around the world. Alex Chen and Harel Hughes for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Finally, take a look at this summer solstice celebration at Stonehenge in Wiltshire, England. I'm Sally Jensen. Take care and see you next time.